Time to check in with our real estate expert, Big Daddy, this morning. Brian Garrity is here to talk about mistakes that you sellers might be making if you're trying to cash in on the market and the fact that it's moving ahead a little bit now. Good to see you again this morning.
Good morning.
Hey, before I forget about it, you're only doing the radio show one more time.
One more week and we are retiring.
Yeah, you've been doing it for 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years, and you know, this is one of those things where while it's still up on top, I felt it was a good transition to move on to some other different, we'll talk about, but some other different projects.
Well, especially with the real estate market getting so busy right now.
Exactly.
Okay, we talk buyers on the show, we talk sellers on the show. In this case, you want to focus on the sellers. Folks might be just a little too eager at this point to sell. They've been sitting for some time now, waiting for the right time to sell.
Right, and you figure that's a good point. You have people that have been handcuffed to their properties and not necessarily in a place where they would need to short sale. They wanted to ride it out. So people are in their property a lot longer than the typical cycles would normally have run based on this implosion that we had years ago. Problem is, you're starting to see more inventory. That's not a problem. That's a good thing. But the problem that's happening is people are coming, agents. This is why that Wall Street Journal article, they said an agent with 10 years or more experience and it does several transactions a year is somebody you should go with. Anything less than that is likely to cost you up to $25,000. Key number one, you need an experienced agent.
Yeah, and let's talk about that, or quite frankly here, and let's have an honest discussion. Everybody's got a friend or a family member that dabbles in real estate, got their license at one point or another, but maybe they're not very experienced, or they don't have both feet firmly planted in that world.
No, exactly. And it's no harm, no foul. I mean, it's not being disrespectful to the family member, but you've got to treat this as a business transaction. Your house is a business transaction. Take the emotions, put them to the side, and think, if you were running a company, wouldn't you hire the most qualified people to run that company?
And we're talking big dollars, like you say, as much as $25,000 can be lost by just a couple of little careless things, or trying to hurry the transaction along to make it look like, hey, look, you know, I'm great at selling these things.
You're a big bad negotiator, and you're going to tell the other party, and the other party says bye and walks from the transaction. So there's a lot of things that can happen there.
So go with an experienced agent. Again, that's coming from Brian and from the Wall Street Journal. Somebody 10 years or more.
10 years or more, and it does ongoing transactions.
Okay. I'm always suspicious when somebody says, when I say, you know, I think this is worth such and such, and they go, yeah, absolutely.
There you go.
Because I'm thinking, well, I'm not an expert. I was just taking a guess. I mean, I got lucky and hit it right the first time?
Right. Yeah, right. We've got something in the business called buying the listing. And this is what we're seeing happening. More inventory coming on the market. We're starting to see the inventory sit there a little bit longer. So when I say that, you know, and trying to quantify it, I'm not talking about months upon months, but I am talking 30-plus days. And your house sitting on the market 30-plus days right now, you've got the wrong agent.
It's not priced right.
You've got the wrong agent. Because if you have that priced right, it's gone within the first 14 days.
So if an agent, if I say, look, hey, you know, I think my house is worth $800,000, and they go, yeah, absolutely, we'll list it for that.
Well, and a lot of them would be like, all right, knowing that it's not worth that, go ahead, sign the contract. Now you're bound in this listing agreement. That's what I'm saying. It's a business transaction. You got to remove the emotions out of it. And I've gotten to be kind of ballistic about it because it's one of those things that people have a hard time doing. You've got to take out the emotions. You're running a corporation. Your corporation is now your house. How are you going to get the most dollars? You're going to have the most qualified employees, period.
Now, I want to be sure to try to get to a couple other things. We've only got about a minute left here. Your agent should really provide you with the comps.
Oh, well, in order for you to make an intelligent, articulate decision, your agent should not only provide you with a comparative market analysis, they should be able to show you. So not just say, this house sold for this house sold for that. The data is all available to be printed out. You can see the photos of the other houses, and you can make a good decision as to, you know what, my house isn't as upgraded as this, yet it's not as downgraded maybe as this.
Right.
Where we're somewhere in the middle.
Okay, so
get them to a good number that you can agree on.
I know you've got a great legal background. You don't practice law, and you refer people to lawyers wherever you feel it's appropriate. But the legal background helps a lot in what you do, because it helps avoid a lot of these problems and helps steer your clients to the right experts when that's appropriate as well.
Really does.
Okay, folks, if you'd like to list with Brian Garrity, well, there you go. There's the information right there. Keep in mind, he's going to be honest with you. He's not necessarily going to tell you what you want to hear. He's going to tell you what you need to hear in order to have an effective sale on your home. One more time on the radio show next Wednesday, 1 o'clock on ESPN Radio. And then you're going to hang up the microphone and move on to other projects.
Yeah, there's some other good things in the works. It's exciting.
It's great to see you.
You too.
As always. Thanks, Brian.
Take care, Mike.
See you soon.